Hi class, today we're going to be looking at chapter 3. We're going to do problem 15B. You should be able to see problem 15B now. Let me get the screen adjusted. And what we're going to be is the Hamilton Company, and we've got an employer identification number of this number right here. We are going to be a semi-weekly depositor. That's important to point out because in the previous problems, we've been a monthly depositor. So when we're a semi-weekly depositor, we're going to make our deposits several times during the month. So it's important that you recognize that you are a semi-weekly depositor in this particular problem. We're going to be working this problem for the first quarter of 2021. And as a hint, they've given you're going to calculate the liability for each date, each pay date, and you're going to multiply the wages by the FICA rate to get the employer's share of FICA. Then you're going to add the employee's withholding for Social Security, Medicare, and income taxes, federal income taxes. So what they've done for us is they have given us the semi-monthly paydays. They've given us the gross taxable wages. They've given us the employee's share of FICA, OASDI, which is your Social Security tax. And they've given us the amount of the Medicare tax that was withheld for the employee. I want to emphasize these items are for the employee. The employee also has federal income tax taken out of their checks. Notice in this problem, they're giving you the paydays and just the gross amount of wages. So what they would have done is they would have taken these gross wages, multiplied it by 6.2% to get the OASDI, and they would have taken the gross wages and multiplied it by 1.45% to get the HI tax. And then the federal income tax, we're going to discuss that in the next chapter as to how they came up with that. So they just gave you that. What they're asking you to do in this problem is to complete Schedule B of Form 941 for the first quarter for Harry Conway, the owner of the Hamilton Company. And when we talk about Schedule B, it comes into play because we are a semi-weekly depositor. If you are a monthly depositor, you do not complete Schedule B. You complete Part 2 of Form 941. But since we're a semi-weekly depositor, they're wanting us to complete Schedule B of Form 941. So your Form 941, they haven't given you all of the parts to that. They've just given you the Schedule B that they want you to complete in this problem. So when we are completing Schedule B, which is going to be showing the deposits that we make on each of the paydays and the total deposits for the month. On this form Schedule B, we have to report both the employee's share of taxes and the employer's share of taxes. What they do not give you in this problem is the employer's share of taxes. You have to figure that up. So I'm going to go to an Excel spreadsheet where I figured that up for you so you can see where I'm getting the amounts that we're going to put on the Schedule B. So hold on just a minute. I'm going to do a new share with you, and we're going to look at my Excel spreadsheet that I've created for you. What I've done is I've copied the first part that was in Cengage for the employees' taxes. This first part they gave to us. They gave you the gross taxable wages, the OSDI taxes that were withheld. They've given you the HI taxes that were withheld. They've given you federal income tax. What I did is I created an extra column just to total up the taxes for the employees. So the taxes were Medicare taxes, Social Security taxes, Medicare taxes, and the income taxes that were withheld on the employees. So if you'll add the Social Security tax, the FICA tax, and the income tax together, that will give you the total taxes. The total taxes for the first pay date, which was January 15th, for the employees that we took out of their paychecks, the total taxes for January 15th are $6,796.30. So again, I added my Social Security tax, my Medicare tax, and my federal income tax together to get the total taxes that were withheld. I did this on each one of the paychecks. So I found the total taxes, and then I just added them up to find the total taxes for the quarter for the employees. What you had to determine then basically was what the employer's tax would have been. So I'm starting with the same information that they gave us before, the paydays. I'm starting with my gross taxable wages, which was also given to us, but we've got to figure the employer's share of the taxes. So the gross wages would be multiplied by 6.2% to get the employer's share of taxes, and the gross wages would be multiplied by 1.45% to get the FICA Medicare taxes that were withheld. Once you've determined the employer's taxes, add the two together to get the total employer's taxes. So when you are determining the total amount of tax that you would have to put on Schedule B of 941, we need to find the total tax deposits for January the 15th. So to do that, I'm going to take my total taxes for my employee, and I'm going to add my total taxes for my employer together. That will give me my total tax deposits for January the 15th. This amount is going to be entered on Form B. So you can click on that if you've done a spreadsheet, and you can copy this, and I'm going to paste it directly into my Cengage worksheet. So I've got to flip back to my Cengage to be able to share it with you. And I would go down on the 15th day of the first month, which is January 15th. I would find the block for January 15th, and then I would just paste that in there. This is the total taxes that came from the spreadsheet that I prepared for the pay date of January the 15th. Now, they also wanted you to fill in this here. This was for the year 2000 dash dash because they didn't give us a year for 2021. And we also want to select that this is going to be for the first quarter, which will be January, February, and March. So this month is January the 15th. I got this amount from my spreadsheet and I put it on the pay date. The day of the month is the 15th, January 15th. This was the total amount of taxes that I withheld. I'm going to go back to my Excel spreadsheet and I'm going to pick up the amount of the total taxes for January 31st. On January 31st, I've got total tax deposits of $9,123. I found that by taking my employee's share of total taxes and adding the employer's share to that. And that will give me $9,123.70. I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste that into Cengage. So I'm going to go back to Cengage and I'm going to paste this on the 31st because that was my pay date. And the amount was $9,123. So the pay date was the 31st. I recorded it in the 31st day here of the first month, which would be January, and I copied this from my Excel spreadsheet. Then what you do is you add the two of these together to get the tax liability for the month. I also have that on the spreadsheet, but I'm just going to add it right here at my desk. So $9,421.60 plus $9,123.70 gives you a total amount that you're going to withhold for January of $18,536.30. So for January, this was the total taxes that was withheld from both of the paychecks on the 15th of the month and the 31st of the month. We're going to move on and we're going to do the same thing for February. I'm going to go back to my Excel spreadsheet. And this time we're going to look at February's tax deposit on February the 15th. Again, I took the employee's share of total taxes and I added the employer's share to that to get the $8,853.76. I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste it in to the Cengage problem. And the pay date for February was also on the 15th. So I'm going to go to the 15th day of February and I'm going to paste that in from my Excel spreadsheet. Then I'm going to go back to my Excel spreadsheet and I'm going to pick up my tax deposit for the 28th of February. Again, to get this amount, I took the employee share for February 28th, the total amount, and I added to it the employer's share. This was the employees, this is the employers. You got to combine them together to get the tax deposit for February the 28th. I'm going to copy and paste this on the 28th. So these are my two deposits for February. I'm going to combine them together. And that's going to give me my tax liability for February. And again, this amount is on the spreadsheet, but add these two together and it'll give you this. Then we're ready to record the tax liability for March. Go back to your Excel spreadsheet if you prepare one for yourself, but that's where I'm going because that's where I got all my information. I'm going to share it with you. This is my Excel spreadsheet. We're going to be looking at March this time. The first pay date in March was March the 15th. And again, I took my employees' share of taxes and I'm going to add to it my employer's share. That's how I come up with this total tax deposit. I'm going to copy it. And I'm going to paste it. And I forgot what day that was. It's probably the 15th of February. Yeah, 15th of February. So I'm going to find the 15th day of the third month, and I'm going to paste it in there. I'm going to go back to my Excel spreadsheet and I'm going to pick up my tax deposit on March the 29th. I'm going to copy it just like we did before. And I'm going to paste it. I believe that was on the 29th. Yep, it's on the 29th was the payday. So I'm going to paste it there on the 29th of March. Then I'm going to combine the two of these together. And the total for March is $16,693.60. Then we're going to put down the total liability for the quarter. So I'm going to add my total for January, which was $18,536.30. I'm going to add my February total, $17,083.18. And I'm going to add the tax liability for March, $16,693.60. All of those combined are $52,313.08. It might be a good idea to go ahead and check your work at this point. Make sure your math is correct. And it looks like our total liabilities are okay. And so we've completed Schedule B, Form 941. Again, we would just prepare Schedule B if we are a semi-weekly depositor. and that's Schedule B. On the second part of this problem, they want you to use the calendar below to list the due dates of each deposit. So remember, this schedule goes on Form 941. But for a semi-weekly depositor, which we are, we need to know what day of the month the payday falls on. So you can see they've given us these nice calendars here. So on January the 15th, if we look up here at the calendar, you can see it fell on a Tuesday. When you're a semi-weekly depositor, the pay date determines when the deposit will be made. If the date is on Tuesday, which it is here, it's going to be due on the following Friday. So the following Friday is January the 18th. So your deposit due date is January the 18th. You have to remember your rules for semi-weekly depositors. And the semi-weekly depositor, because it told us we are semi-weekly depositor, you have to go by the pay dates. So they've listed the pay dates for us here. And it depends on what day of the month that the pay date falls on. The rules are if the pay date is on a Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, it'll be due the following Wednesday. If the pay date is on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, or Tuesday, the pay date is on the following Friday. So because January the 15th was on a Tuesday, the pay date or deposit date, the deposit date is February the 18th. So on January 31st, you got to look to see what day of the week it is. Since it's on Thursday, it means that we're going to make the deposit on the following Wednesday. So if we look at our calendar, the following Wednesday will be on February the 6th. So February the 6th is going to be our deposit due date. The pay date was on January 31st, and because it fell on a Thursday, then it's going to be due the following Wednesday. The pay date for February the 15th is on a Friday. It will be due on the following Wednesday. The following Wednesday is February the 20th. I have a little trouble with my mouse here. There we go. Just got to get it in the right place. February 20th. Again, because the pay date was February the 15th, which falls on a Friday, the due date will be on the following Wednesday, which is the 20th. If the pay date is on February 28th, the pay date is on Thursday. And if the pay date is on Thursday, it's going to be due on the following Wednesday. So the 28th is here. That's the pay date. The next Wednesday is March the 6th. So March the 6th is the due date for the February 28th payment. On March the 15th, our next payday was on a Friday. If the pay date is on Friday, it's going to be due on the next Wednesday. The next Wednesday is March the 20th. On the last pay date, which is March 29th, it was on a Friday, so it would be due on the next Wednesday, which is April the 3rd. And I'm going to check my work just to make sure my dates are correct. And they are. And that's all we have to do for this particular problem. So I'm going to stop sharing this with you, and I'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.